my brake lights. Ain't turning back. Now that I'm back on track, yeah. Take my word for it. Put a couple bands on it. And I don't plan on letting people turn me. No. You can say what you want. I'ma keep pressing on. I can't go pop that thing like I'm feeling green, right? Talking to my past like focus on my brake lights.
Hello, you all. This is your time. It's your time to watch or listen to Breaking the Silence. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you're wondering who we are, probably you're a new viewer, we want to introduce ourselves. My name is Angeli.
My name is Nori.
I'm Shaitia.
And this is Breaking the Silence. So today we have an exciting episode, ladies.
Yes, we do.
I'm so excited.
I'm ready.
But before I spoil that, here in Breaking the Silence, we always have our question of the day.
Yes, we do.
So we want to ask that already, beginning of the show, for our viewers, listeners out there. This is, if given complete autonomy, how would you approach your job differently? Oh my goodness,
This
is that
is
even possible? Like, people will be like, I'll go crazy. My job.
Question.
I already have mine.
No, but you can't
Hold
say
it
it
all.
now.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold it.
But it's a good one.
I know, but
Yeah,
leave
but
it for later.
Yeah, leave it for later. We have our QR code that you can actually scan right now. It's gonna pop up on your screen. There you go. So if you want to answer this question, you already have your answer like Shaitia, go on ahead and give us your response to this question. Or if you are listening to us, you can send your DM. You can send us a DM at breakingthesilence_talkshow. So please don't text and drive, okay? Listen, if you pull over, if you park, then there you go. You can send your response. But you can send that later on, and maybe we are going to read it, towards the end of the show, okay? And we are so excited to bring to you our special guest for today. We have a health coach and wellness advocate, Dede Murff, in the studio, and she's going to be talking all about, there she is. Hi, we're so excited to speak to you, Dede. She's going to talk about all wellness, healthy habits, everything about health. So if you do have questions, maybe you're just starting, you don't even know where to start, it's hard for you to break, those habits. Sometimes we have those
Or to even
bad
get started.
habits. Exactly. So she's going to be motivating us today, encouraging us on how we can start, okay? We also have Check the Facts Food Edition. So we're gonna myth those, we're gonna bust those myths later on in the show. So get ready for all of that. That's a lot, I know. So let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Have you heard the good news? LFN is now reaching even more homes across the country. That's right! You can now watch LFN on Verizon Fios Channel 792, Frontier Channel 726. Tell your friends, tell your family, LFN is now airing in your city and right in your home. So put that remote down and stay connected to life-changing content that uplifts, encourages, and transforms. LFN, a network with a purpose.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need
to make your mental health a priority.
love your mind.
I love you.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
Check the facts. So let us go for some, facts or myths. So if you can maybe play with us a little bit, or maybe interact with us to see if it's a fact or a myth. So our first one, ready? Are you ready, ladies?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let me
First
have
one. Is this fact or myth? All fat is bad.
This is a myth. Not all fat is bad.
But they tell you to be careful what fats you eat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not all
So-
fats are bad. So
Actually, Nori, you got it. It's a myth.
there you go.
And
See?
the explanation
Bam,
for that is
bam,
there are
bam.
actually healthy and unhealthy fats. So
Okay.
let's get that, fact straight. It's healthy and unhealthy fats. So some, when eaten in moderation, they have heart health benefits. So monounsaturated or polyunsaturated fats are actually considered healthy fats, and they can actually be found, okay, pay attention to this, vegetable oils, nuts, seeds, whole olives, avocados, and fatty fish. So those
I
are
love avocado.
right?
I know, I
And
love
nuts.
avocado
I
too.
love
Yum,
nuts.
yum,
And saturated and trans fat, on the other hand, are the unhealthy fats.
bad ones.
So if you're somebody who goes to the grocery store and look at those nutrition facts, and then you see saturated, trans fat, then
That's
out
not
of your
Leave it
list.
there.
Okay.
Leave it there.
And those are found in butter, cheese, red meat, and other animal-based foods, egg yolks, high-fat dairy products.
Oh, man.
I love cheese.
So
Okay.
well, maybe
All right.
in moderation, right? We're
Yes.
gonna ask
Everything
our
in
health
moderation.
coach later on. to
Yes,
see, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that one, Angeli. We do have our next one. Honey. Do you guys think honey spoils?
I've heard this before, and I think this is a fact.
Or it doesn't?
I think it never spoils. I've heard this before.
Yeah, I don't think, because they don't store it like in the fridge. They don't tell you
Yeah.
to store it a certain way. So
I think this is a fact.
All right.
Are
Is
we
it a fact? It is a fact. Honey never spoils. That is mind blowing. Honey is one of the few foods that can last forever. Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. So the secret is in its natural preservatives and low moisture content. So never throw away your honey, no matter how old it is. It is going to last.
thousands of years. That's
Thousands
a long
of years.
time.
That is a long time.
And
You
it's
can
healthy
still
too.
eat it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Better
it
than
is.
alternative.
It has its benefits.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Okay, so I have one that I think that you guys would get wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Try
so,
us.
fresh fruits and vegetables are healthier than frozen or canned types.
You
Fact
know.
or myth?
It's a myth.
I'm debating with this one because I've always heard that frozen and canned,
Or
they're
less
not
healthy.
good. Yeah, they're less healthier. So I'm not too sure about this
I would
one.
go with a myth because I go with frozen foods. So I have frozen fruits in my
I would
fridge.
say,
in my fruit
I don't
freezer.
know. I'm not going to answer on this one.
Okay.
Do I have to?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so I will
You don't have a
say
choice.
that, yeah, fresh fruits are healthier than frozen and
Okay.
canned.
So
Okay.
tell us the facts.
So it is a myth. Studies show frozen and canned fruits and vegetables can be just as nutritious as fresh produce. And so it also says it can contribute to a healthy diet. It shows that they can be, they cost less, and you just have to watch out, especially for the canned ones, for added ingredients such as sugar, saturated fats, and sodium. And with frozen fruits and vegetables, they are frozen at their peak ripeness. So there's no processing
stuff, yeah.
and things like that. They just
Alright.
freeze it right when it's the perfect time.
And it's
Okay.
good that it lasts.
Yes.
I'll buy on the frozen one, but the canned one,
Yeah,
I'm
the canned ones
the
are
canned
little-
ones, you just
I
have to
don't
be
know.
careful to
I
see
don't
if
know.
something is added to
I'll
it.
ask Dede later on.
Yeah, let's ask her.
I
later.
will
We have
ask
all
her.
our questions already.
Yes.
Okay, but we have another one. Soy-based foods are not good for you. Myth?
I
or
think that's a
fact?
myth. I
Myth?
think it's a myth.
I think it's a fact because there was like a phase where it was like everything was like soy, and then it kind of died down. So I feel like that is a fact.
Well, guess what? It is a myth. It is a myth. Actually, current evidence suggests that soy consumption is actually generally safe for everyone except for those who have allergies and soy, related to soy. So a lot of concerns, for example, about soy's plant estrogen compounds and stimulating breast tumor and growth in animal studies. However, there has been human research that it hasn't have any link between soy and breast cancer. In fact, studies indicate that actually consuming soy products like tofu, edamame, miso, and soy milk may actually reduce breast cancer risk and support survival. So you see, you know, not everything that you see on the internet is, you know, fact, okay? So make sure you check the facts. All right?
Okay.
I think we have another one.
We do. And this one is bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't.
This one, I'm a little...
You have got to be kidding me.
I'm gonna say it's
How is that possible?
myth.
Berries, strawberries.
I know.
Is it a myth or
Why would
is
it
it a
have
fact?
strawberry
I would
in
say
it
myth.
if it doesn't have, if it's not a berry?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a
myth, right? A
Okay.
myth for me too.
Well, it is a fact. It's
So
a
is
fact.
banana
Strawberries are actually considered aggregate fruits because they form from multiple ovaries of a single flower. And it goes more on to say, it might sound bananas, but it's true. Botanically, bananas are classified as berries, while strawberries aren't. Strawberries are actually considered aggregate foods because they form from multiple ovaries, as I said. So next time you're munching on a banana, just remember it is a berry. Okay?
Angelique, that's for you.
I know. I'm such a fan of bananas, but I never knew this fact. So thanks for that, Nori.
Yeah.
So these are all just some of the facts and myths that you see online. But if you do have any questions for Dede, which is coming up next, okay? So prepare yourself for this break because once we're up again, we're gonna be with Dede for health, wellness, and health questions. I know, I'm super excited. So I'm just like, yeah, wealth, right? It would bring wealth
Regarding your
when
health,
you are
yeah.
healthy. So let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
The challenges our planet's animals are facing sometimes feel a bit heavy.
The animals haven't eaten in a day, 2 days, they haven't drank anything, they're cold, they're dehydrated.
But remember, there's good happening right now. At home,
All right, we were able to get into your unit, and we have all 4 of your cats. So,
Okay.
and around the world for any animal, any disaster. Search ifa.org/disaster ready.
Who do you turn to when your best friend sinks into depression? Where do you go when your father faces moments of hardship? How do you help your sister when her world falls apart? As a faithful viewer, you know that help is just a phone call away. But it's not just for you. Our 24-hour helpline is open to everyone, day or night, free of charge. If someone you know is struggling, share our helpline number with them. They can call 1-888-332-4141 or text us 1-888-312-4141. Men and women of faith are ready to listen, pray, and guide anyone in need. They don't have to face life struggles alone. LFN's helpline is where problems are heard and prayers are made.
Ready to connect, laugh, and learn? Breaking the Silence is your go-to for honest conversations and genuine connections.
Explore the road to success with inspiring guests, motivational tips to change your life for the better, and entrepreneurs advertising their business. Now, today's guest.
Welcome back. We have Dede Murff in the studio today. She's a certified health coach and wellness advocate. Thank you for joining us, Dede.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You've had such an inspiring journey about your health. So before we go through actually what you do, can you just share a little backstory and how you got to, being a wellness coach, but also your journey and specifically with your health?
Well, let's see. It started in 2011. Actually, a little bit before then. I just had a lot of pain in my body. Just my joints were aching all the time. We had adopted. I'm married. I have 5 children, and 4 of them are adopted. And we had adopted a sibling group. We got the brother and the sister came home first, I thought it was just feeling the fatigue, from adopting all these kids and, just being tired all the time. And I thought, when they grow up, get a little bit bigger, I won't have to hold the baby so much and I'll start feeling better. And, she started walking and the pain wasn't going away. And it was in September of 2011. I remember that night I went to bed and I couldn't sleep, so I got up and slept on the couch. And my husband got up that morning and said that he wasn't feeling good. And I was like, okay, it's my turn to be sick. I need, I need you to take care of me.
Yeah.
And he was actually not feeling well. He said his arm was numb. It's because he was having a heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I rushed him to the hospital, and they life-flighted him to the Texas Heart and Vascular Institute, where they put a stent in, and he's fine and healthy today. But while he was in the hospital, he told me, and the kids were farmed out, and he said, you need to go to the doctor and get checked out and see what's going on.
Yeah.
You've been in so much pain for so long. Let's see find out what's going on. So I did that, and a couple of days later, I got the report back that I had rheumatoid arthritis.
Wow.
And I didn't even know what that was. So I looked it up and looked up all, what it was, and I remember my grandfather and his hands, and they were, distorted, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I have. And so it was a huge alarm for me. I was like, what am I going to do? I've got these babies to raise, and with all this pain, what am I going to do? And so when my husband was well enough, we went to see a rheumatologist because they wanted it to be confirmed through rheumatologists.
Okay.
So I went, and it was confirmed. And I remember being in there and just listening to him tell me what my life was going to look like, the medication I was going to have to be on, having to come back to the doctor, repeatedly to check my liver and my kidneys because the medication was going to be really strong on my organs. And I remember looking at him and asking him if there was a more holistic way. And he said, you can try it, but it won't work. And so after that, it was like the Charlie Brown teacher. Yeah. Everything he said after that was like, wah, wah, wah. I kind of just shut it out.
Right.
So as my husband and I walked out the door, I looked at my husband and I said, I don't know what the Lord has for me, but I can't do that first. I can't do that yet. And so, I was homeschooling at the time, and homeschoolers are built a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And so, they do a lot of research, and I had some friends tell me, you need to try gluten-free, and you need to take sugar out of your diet, and you need to see a naturopath, and they were telling me all these things to do.
Yeah.
And so I started my own research as well.
Okay.
And I did see a naturopath. She put me on lots of supplements, and I started feeling a little bit better. Maybe it was placebo, I don't remember, but I was doing a lot of things. I was changing my diet. But I remember one night I was crying out to the Lord, and I said, if you want me to live this way, you're going to have to show me how. Okay. If you want me to live in pain and still glorify you, you're going to have to show me how.
Wow.
And I thought, well, somebody surely has blogged about this. So I looked online, wanted to see if anybody had blogged about it. And I actually I thought I had looked up everything, and I came across an organization called roadback.org, and they help people with rheumatic diseases. And there's a doctor years ago that came out with a protocol. It was an antibiotic therapy, and they'd written a book. The guy had written a book, so I bought the book, read it cover to cover, and then I prayed. I asked the Lord that if there would be a doctor here in Houston that knew the protocol, and there were 2. There was a woman and a man, and I looked up the woman's first, and hers was very new agey, and I was like, I don't think that one's it.
Yeah.
So I closed that one, moved that page over. And then I went to the next one, and the next one was Dr. Manso, and he was a believer. And he had his whole testimony on his front page, and called him up, made an appointment, and went to see him and on the protocol. And I was on it for a year, and it, along with changing my diet, it put it into remission within 18 months.
Wow.
From start to finish, because I was on that for a year, and I didn't turn back. You know, I'd lost 45 pounds in the process.
Okay.
It wasn't about losing weight for me. I just wanted to feel better. Just wanted to be out of pain. I wanted to be able to play with the kids. And my oldest is 36, and my youngest is 16.
Okay.
At the time, you know, this was back in 2011. I had a long ways to go. You know, when I was looking at the baby, going, I've got a long ways to go. I want to be here for grandkids. And so my husband and I both set out on a health journey, and we've been on that journey ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is very, very inspiring. Yes. And the journey to beginning, the changing just your lifestyle overall, because you were in constant pain.
Yes.
Every single day you were in pain. But before you started the transition into changing the way you eat, things that you started replacing, what were you like on medication? Was it the medication helping you, or it came to a point where the pain was so severe that it wasn't even helping you at all?
I was never on medication for the RA. I only did the protocol, the antibiotic protocol. That was the only thing I did. I chose not to do the medication. You know, just because I wanted to try something else. But I am a believer, a strong believer in what I teach my clients that are on medication is the pills and skills model of health, which if you have to take pills, do skills at the same time. The more skills you do, the less pills you have to take. And that happened in my instance because, you know, antibiotics are still medication. And so the more skills I did, the less pills I had to take.
Okay. With arthritis, are there certain levels? Correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard that there's certain levels, like level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. How does that work? Or what level were you at when you found out?
I never found out what level I was. I went that one time, and
that's
they
it.
I never went back. I never went back. I never went back.
But you know, as you said, there were like a lot of like side effects to it, like when you take medication. Because usually when we're feeling pain, we go to conventional medicine, traditional medicine. So how did your family react, specifically your husband, when you decided, I'm going on this protocol, this holistic journey, I'm not going to take any medicines, you've mentioned. How did he react? Was he against it, or did he like tug of war, or how was it?
He was my biggest champion. He really supported me. I remember specifically when the joints in my hands were so bad, and I was starting, you know, to change my diet, and I was trying to open up a can of something, and I just couldn't do it. And I love being in the kitchen. Well, when you have 5 kids, you know, you're always in the kitchen, whether you like it or not, right? And I just couldn't open the can. I remember him coming behind me and allowing, you know, wrapping his arms around me and putting his hands over mine and helping me to do it. You know, instead of saying, you know, let me do that for you. He just helped me because he knew how important it was for me to continue, you know, doing my mom job. But yeah, he's always been my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. And he was on the journey too. You know, we were trying to eat healthy together, and I was trying to find recipes, and at that time, let me tell you, the recipes online were terrible. They were awful, and we made things that no one should eat.
I can imagine. I mean, because just the thought of going healthy, a lot of people, they struggle with it. I know, me personally, when it came to like cutting down on sugar and cutting down on so many things, I'm like, oh my goodness. And it was kind of like a struggle, but by what you're saying, it was like teamwork, right?
Right.
Okay.
It is teamwork. It is teamwork, for sure.
It's good.
For sure.
So like, for example, you said now you started to change the diet. What else did you incorporate in that lifestyle? Like exercise, workout, or, you know, even sleeping habits? Like what were some things that you incorporated in that?
Yes, I did start moving my body more. At that time, you know, because my joints were still very stiff and a lot of pain, we got something kind of like an elliptical. It's called a Cybex. So I was doing exercise at home, and it's very gentle. So that's what I encourage people to do, is start gentle. to lubricate your joints, but you're still moving them. You want to keep moving them. So that's what I started doing. One of the other things I did as far as nutrition was I knew that flooding my body with fruits and vegetables was important, and the best way for me to do that was to drink smoothies. So I got introduced to the Green Smoothie Girl and started, following her and, doing her smoothies, her green smoothies. And at that time, I remember the Lord giving me a vision of myself healthier. I could see her in the future. She was healthier. She was vibrant. And I knew that everything that I ate, the thoughts that I had, the exercises, the way that I was moving my body was eventually going to lead me into her. And 18 months later, I met her. And I've been walking with her ever since.
Yes. Amazing. And we have some ingredients here that you're going to talk about after the break, okay? So for those of you who are wondering, what is even in this table? Well, you have to tune in after the break. Dede is going to speak more about it. So let's go on a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Empowered women, empowering conversations. Stay with us on Breaking the Silence as we inspire and uplift each other.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. A My Social Security account allows you to access your earnings history and benefits information, request a replacement Social Security card, get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
New York City, the city that thrives with ambition. The Big Apple is filled with skyscrapers that loom as tall as 1,776 feet, and population continues to grow. The Universal Church has locations all over the tri-state area. In the upper side of the Bronx, come and discover the true joy that awaits for you inside of 1227 Webster Avenue, Bronx, New York, 10456. Along in neighboring Harlem, you can find yourself in the next uplifting service at 65 East 125th Street, New York, 10035. In Brooklyn, you can witness the true power of God in East Flatbush through the doors of 972 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11213. No matter the weather, atmosphere, or culture, come as you are. The Universal Church is open 7 days a week with 4 services throughout the day.
Explore the road to success with inspiring guests, motivational tips to change your life for the better, and entrepreneurs advertising their business. Now, today's guest.
Welcome back. We still have Dede here in the show with us. But before we proceed on the ingredients on the table, first, Dede, can you explain what holistic health means? Because you've gone through this journey, but maybe some people don't even know what it actually is. So what is holistic health?
Well, that's a really good question. I like the way that you pose that question. I think it's looking at our health in the 4 pillars: lifestyle, how you live; exercise, how you move; attitude, what you think; and nutrition, what you eat. And like a table with 4 legs, not one is more important than the other. It's just choosing to just focus on one at a time, because when we try to focus on all 4, it becomes overwhelming. It's just hard. And so when I'm working with my clients, we talk about all 4 pillars. They tell me a little bit about their lifestyle, how they like to move their body, if there's any challenges that they have as far as their attitude, maybe they're going through some things that, that's just a difficult season for them, and nutrition, how they like to fuel their body. And as I look at all the notes that I've taken, we kind of, I can kind of see where we're going to begin because I have tools for all 4 areas. And so, most people want to start with exercise or nutrition. And so weekly we'll make brief action plan and break it up into little micro steps so that they can feel accomplished.
All right, you already answered my next question. That's exactly what I was going to ask. So for someone who's watching and they're trying to begin, they're considering to begin, but they're like, this doesn't look like it's going to be tasty or it's too much. Where and how do they begin? Like, what would be the first step?
That's a great question. That is a really good question because I get asked that all the time.
Yeah.
How do I overcome it? How do I, where do I start?
Yeah.
And it really is looking at one of the 4 pillars of health and figure out where you would like to start. And then you want to break them up into small pieces. You want to set a goal for yourself and then break that goal up into smaller, attainable pieces because success breeds success.
Yeah.
So you want to gain success and accountability. That is huge, really, really huge. Whether you're doing it with a friend or with a group, that's really important because studies have shown when you do it in a group, you're more likely to lose weight. Just to be more successful.
Okay.
Now let's get to the fun part. Our snacks, healthy snacks that actually look so appetizing.
And it smells good. Like
it does.
So what are these snacks? Like what are
Let me tell you a little bit about. Well, let me tell you a little bit about why this is so important to me. As a health coach, I am a kitchen coach. Really, I love to take my clients into the kitchen because this is where the magic happens, right?
Yeah.
This is what people want to do. It's like you were talking about, they don't know where to start. And it's usually about the food. And it's usually about the snacks. Right? Because we know how to eat a steak, we know how to eat chicken, we know how to fix a salad, but it's the yummy stuff. Like, how do I make it healthy? I don't know how to do that. So I brought my very favorites today, and I am known for these. So you're going to get to taste them today, and you're going to absolutely love them. Okay? So what we have over here is a vegan caramel sauce. Right here in the back. The one that's yellow is a cashew queso. No cheese involved.
Okay, because I'm lactose intolerant.
Great for people just like you. You are going to be so happy.
All right.
The chocolate sauce is back here. And then I have some vegan energy balls that I made. They're made with pumpkin, cranberry, pepitas, and almond butter. And then some other yummy things. So I would love for y'all to try them. The great thing about, the one thing about the caramel sauce and the chocolate is that they have coconut oil in them. So coconut oil, when it gets a little cold, will be like a magic shell. It will harden. So I made some zebra popcorn for you. So you can make healthy popcorn. I just just popcorn. Not in the microwave. I actually did it the old-fashioned way in the skillet with a little bit of oil and butter, a little bit of salt, and then I just drizzled that on there. And if you put that in the fridge for just 5 or 10 minutes, and it'll harden.
So that chocolate you drizzled on the popcorn.
Yes, with the caramel sauce. Yes.
Who says healthy snacks can't be fun?
Healthy is so yummy and so fun. I'm here to tell you, it really is.
And how do you deal with I know you mentioned lactose intolerant, but how do you deal with other food allergies like nuts or like me? I'm allergic to chocolate, unfortunately. So.
Well, I do work with my clients individually, and we talk about their nutritional needs, and if there are any substitutions, we need to make, I can help them find recipes. I don't create recipes, but I am an excellent recipe researcher. I can look at a recipe and tell you whether or not it's going to be good, because I've been doing this for so long.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so can we dig in?
Yeah,
I know that you're probably going to do the cheese, right?
I'm ready to dig
in to the cheese.
So
the energy balls are just calling me.
They're calling you, yes, go for it.
I'm going to do this. And this here, what does it have again?
Okay, so that one has in it has almond milk. It has raw almonds, cashews, nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is something that makes things taste cheesy. Okay, I put it on kale and make crispy kale chips.
Nutritional
yeast. Yes. Yes.
It does taste like cheese.
It does, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And then it has, seasonings. It has garlic, it has onion, it has some red pepper flakes in there.
Oh my goodness.
So that's what that is. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna taste the energy ball.
Listen, I'm gonna have a little bit of everything, y'all.
Yes, you go ahead.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
go ahead and dig in.
The energy ball, what you're eating right there, has almond butter, pumpkin puree, cranberries, pepitas, and some other seasonings in there. Pumpkin seasoning, yeah.
This is really good.
It's good.
Now, a lot of people say that going healthy, and that's one of the reasons why they lose motivation. They say that going healthy is expensive.
That's a myth.
That's a myth.
That's a myth.
It's a myth.
Thank you for debunking that.
Yes. And the reason it's a myth is because when we eat processed foods, there's something in those processed foods, and they do it on purpose, but that makes us want more. It just, the sugar, it just makes us want more. So we just tend to eat more.
Right.
When you begin to eat this way and you're eating real foods, you are satisfied and you're just not as hungry.
Okay.
And so you're not going to spend extra money buying the junk food.
Interesting. And what would be some things that you can replace? Like, I know before we came back, while we were on commercial, I asked you about the sugar. What would be a great sugar replacement for someone who wants to cut down on the sugar?
Well, the two that I use primarily are dates.
Okay.
Dates are sweet and delicious, and real maple syrup. Those are the two that I use in just about everything sweet that I make.
Okay.
I have some brownies, and I have a chocolate chip cookie that's made with tahini, which is sesame seeds. Like it's a paste made from sesame seeds.
Okay.
And dates, and then of course, the chocolate and stuff. And they're delicious.
Interesting. Now, I've also heard some people, they want to cut off carbs or go gluten-free. They want a replacement for like flour or something like that. What would be good options for them?
Good option flours are almond flour, coconut flour. There's gluten-free flour.
Okay.
Any of those. There's lots of different flours now that they could use as a good substitute instead of white flour, which is a lot healthier.
That's great. Before the show started, you've shown us this traffic light eating.
Yes.
So for me, it was like, whoa, that's a new thing. So can you explain, summary, what is traffic light eating?
Well, traffic light eating is a way that I teach my clients to look at food, especially if families that have kids, because you never want to tell anybody you can't have anything, because the moment you do, what do you want? You want that thing, right?
Yeah.
And so traffic light eating is, so you have the green light. Green light foods are anything that's grown on a farm. You can eat as much of it as you want, because your body's going to tell you that you've had enough. Because have you ever overeaten apples? No, we haven't, have we? Because there's water and fiber in them, and that's just the way God created them, right? And so we're never going to overeat broccoli or lettuce. We're just not going to do it. So you can eat as much of that as you want, because your body will tell you when to stop. The yellow light foods are foods that are still on a farm, but they have to be prepared, like meat and chicken and fish and grains and things like that. You just want to slow down on those. You can have them every day, just slow down. And then the last one is red light foods. What do you think red light foods are?
Processed food.
Yeah.
All the processed food. Yes, that's where we
Okay.
stop and we think, is there a better option? But there's another way I like for people to look at red light foods as celebration foods. It's not something we keep in our house every day, but we're going to need them to celebrate, right? We're going to make a cake. And so when you're looking at, what slice, how big of a piece should I get? I give people this little rule of thumb or finger. So this is a chunk. You can measure it. You don't want a chunk of pie. This is a piece. This is a slice, and this is a sliver. So, this one. We'll use this finger. A sliver. So we want to keep our slices to a sliver.
That's what I wanted to ask too, because it doesn't mean that you're living a holistic lifestyle, that you're just going to prevent yourself from all the red light foods. So do you as well do that? Like, do you indulge yourself every now and then?
Kind of like a cheat day.
Yeah, like a pick-me-up day.
Yeah, there's some chocolates that I love, that I keep in the refrigerator, in the drawer, on the bottom, so I don't see them every day. But when I'm thinking about, I want some chocolate, I have it there. But once you begin eating this way, those cravings go away. I have a 10-day smoothie challenge that I do with my clients, and within 10 days, the cravings are gone.
Interesting.
And how do you, what do you recommend for someone who wants to stop, these bad eating habits? How do they get started?
Do a 10-day cleanse, a 10-day whole food challenge, a 10-day smoothie challenge, something like that. It's a great catalyst for healthier living and to curb those cravings. And it just sets you, gives you that mindset, and you're removing, the sugar, the processed foods, things that are not serving you.
Okay. Now I have another question. So, whenever in my experience, and maybe you can advise on that, when you're going healthy, your body tends to kind of go on withdrawal, or you're kind of you're kind of itching. You're kind of I want a bag of chips, or I want this or want that. Or sometimes, for example, I remember I did kind of a 2-week detox, but for the first 3-4 days, I was completely miserable. I had headaches, I was fatigued, I felt so how can a person deal with that?
Yeah, that does happen. I'll be honest with you. When you are detoxing, especially from sugar, and all the carbs and the processed foods, that is going to happen. That's part of the process. And knowing that it's just going to end, and giving yourself grace. Okay. If you have some chips, or you have something that you're not supposed to have, just give yourself some grace, because it's progress, not perfection.
All right. Thank you for that.
I motivated her. Now let's talk about self-efficacy, because you're big on that.
Yes.
So can you explain that? They believe, the belief that the person can do it, even though they're full of those bad habits, or they've never worked out before, they've never been into this good habit before. So what can you say about, self-efficacy, and how does that transform your clients?
Yes. Well, everybody really knows what to do. You really do. I mean, we're bombarded with the messages of, exercising. The gyms are in every corner, right? Everyone knows what to do. That's not the problem. The problem is the accountability and having somebody, walk alongside you. As scripture says, we're supposed to, be in community and do this together. And so, as I'm helping my clients, I ask really good questions. That's a sign of a good coach, is they ask good questions. But you want to let them lead. I let my clients lead. I let my clients tell me what they want to do, and then they choose, the journey. My job as a coach is to help inspire and motivate my clients to do the goals and to accomplish the goals that they've set for themselves.
Awesome. All right.
That's really good.
Is there any person in specific, you don't need to mention names, but is there any person in specific that comes up to you, that they came to you, they were having, this trouble, and now today they're great.
Oh my gosh.
They're doing good.
Yes. Then you said that, and I had her in my mind. Yes, I was working with this client, and she was, when we first started, I knew, I said to myself, she's going to be tough. Yeah. She's going to be really tough. She was just kind of, her attitude was just not really good, but she knew that she needed to do these things, right? Okay. And so we went through the 4 pillars of health. We started making small changes. She has a high stress job, number one, both her and her husband. So that in and of itself was a challenge. Yeah. And then she had a little one too. But every week when we met, we would, she would make some goals and we would break them up. And then she would send me pictures of things that she was making and eating, and I would encourage her. And it took a lot of encouragement. Yeah. And she was the client that at the end, she'd lost, I believe, 20 or 25 pounds. And, she wrote a testimony for me with working with me, and how just the encouragement that I gave her really changed her attitude and her life. And she agreed that she was a tough one. She says, I knew I was going to be tough for you, and I set out to do that on purpose. She's like, she can't help me.
Wow.
Now for those who are watching or listening, and this is their struggle. Yes. They want to start, maybe they even started, but along the way they gave up. So what would be a piece of advice for them?
Piece of advice, number one, you can call me. I'd love to help you. So just begin making small changes right now, okay? Cut back on the sugar. If you're cooking or making, something to take, you can cut back on the sugar. If the recipe calls for a cup of sugar, do 3/4 of a cup instead of a whole cup. Add protein powder to your recipes. Just start making small changes right now.
Now they're motivated to call you, so give them your information and where they can find you, how they can reach you.
Yes. So anyone who's watching today, if you would like a 30-minute free discovery call, you can reach me at auroranetwork.life, and I'm sure that'll be in the notes. Or you can join my Facebook group, and that's my community. It's called Brown Girl Gone Green, powered by community. And I will be posting the recipes. I will pin those up at the top. So if you want these recipes, go to that Facebook group, Brown Girl Gone Green, powered by community.
Thank you so much. It was such an amazing conversation. Yes. A lot of delicious, healthy snacks. So thank you so much, Dede. So now we're going to go on a quick break and eat some of these healthy snacks. But we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
Stronger together. Breaking the Silence is your community for support and inspiration.
I never stopped loving God, but I hated church people. For a long time, I didn't even know why. I mean, I'm basically born in the church. But I started to feel resentment towards church people. I experienced church culture as judgmental, bitter, manipulation, status-driven, and sometimes even cult vibes.
I don't belong anywhere. Not even churches want me. And I thought they were supposed to care. You're not alone in feeling this way, and very likely, you won't be the last. Sadly, many individuals have been church hurt over the years and have turned away from their faith because of hidden abuse. Neglect, family pressure,
Do you think I wanted a daughter like you?
or feelings of rejection. Those who once cherished the caring support of a home church now harbor resentment and cynicism. Maybe one of those individuals is you. As time goes on, you long for a true spiritual home, a safe, welcoming, and genuine environment to worship the Lord Jesus. Well, you found the right place. Our doors are open wide to welcome you 7 days a week. Join the nearest Universal Church, particularly on Sundays at 10 a.m. Other service times are also available. Worship, learn, and fight your problems by faith. And in the process, experience a deep encounter with God's power. At every Sunday service in the Universal Church, you'll be blessed with prayers for divine healing, financial prosperity, and family well-being. Additionally, you'll learn practical teachings of faith founded on the Word of God to nourish your soul.
The Holy Spirit inside of you makes you happy. Makes you happy.
We have no dress code or any other outward requirements. We just have an open and teachable heart. Come as you are, but rest assured, you won't leave the same.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
I'm still chewing because it was so good, and I'm not lying. You can even see us. We wanted to wipe our mouths because they were just healthy but delicious snacks. So definitely thank you so much to Dede Murff. You're just amazing. You're great.
Hit her up.
Yeah. Please don't forget her contact and get that started today.
Especially nowadays. Nowadays, everyone is more like on the healthier side. They're going, healthy crazy and whatnot, and looking up things that what they can do, what they can eat in order to change their diets and stuff. So yeah, definitely want to reach out to Dede. She is definitely going to help you guys.
Yes, for sure. But we also did not forget our question of the day, and some of you already sent in your responses. So let's read that one more time. It's, if given complete autonomy, how would you approach your job differently? And we have responses from all of you. So let's pull up our first one.
All right.
This is from Lamara. No dress code. How does me wearing yoga pants affect my work ethic anyway, if I'm just sitting at my desk all day? I don't know how to feel about this.
I think that when you dress, like even they say like for depression, right? Like get dressed because that's going to motivate you to do more. So I feel like if you dress for success, you're gonna do more.
Yeah, and if you're in your yoga pants, you kind of want to feel like
relax.
Relax, exactly.
And I guess it all depends where you're working at too. Like if you're dealing with clients coming in and this and that and the other, you definitely want to make sure you are dressed appropriately. So, but if not, then I don't see a problem with yoga pants. But thank you for that, Lamara.
Thank you.
All right, we do have our next comment, which is from, I'm gonna say, Mimi. Mimi's Kitchen.
Mimi's Kitchen.
Yes. 4-day work weeks or work from home. Either way, I just don't want to commute as often, girl. Listen, I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, listen.
I commute.
I think post-COVID, a lot of people are like work from home.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
But you always have to be careful when you have Zoom meetings and stuff like that. Because we've seen videos out there of people where, oh my goodness.
In their bed.
Yeah, they think their camera's not on, but it's on. And yeah.
So please.
So, all right. Thank you for that one. And we do have another one.
Next one. So I want to say Shania.
Okay.
I like to implement the Pomodoro study technique. Work 20 minutes, break for 5. I think I'll be more productive that way.
What? You're reading my mind.
Wait a minute.
I know. You're reading
Work
my mind.
20 minutes, break for 5?
Yeah, it's actually productive. I did it, and it actually works.
It works?
It works. Whatever,
So
like
I
after
think I
20
need
minutes,
to
you time
try it.
yourself.
But am I really going to get things done?
I don't do for 20
if
minutes.
You know
I do
yourself,
for like an hour.
If you know you that type of person that you're quick to pick up your phone and you stay on your phone scrolling for a very long time,
but
I don't think this is going to work.
You
got to be real with yourself.
Yeah. A walk.
Okay.
For 5 minutes and then 20 minutes.
So this works for you?
Yes. This one definitely works.
So I'm
for
gonna try
me.
this. Thank you for
Pomodoro
that.
study
I'm gonna try this. What about you, Angelique?
This that. Pomodoro study. She's reading my mind. No, because these days I need to put on a timer in anything that I do, because if not, with technology, with social media, we get lost in the sauce. We're lost in technology. So for me, what really works is a timer. So maybe that's something I would implement.
All right. What about you?
A nap time.
Oh,
it's just like you get that afternoon crash and you just don't want to do nothing. Like if I could just take like a 20-minute nap after that crash, I'll be good to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, nap time.
I agree. I agree with the nap time too. Well, actually, back in the days, I worked in this office setting, and that's exactly what I would do. Like, I would just quickly eat something really quick, and the rest of the time, I lay down my jacket, my coat, or whatever, and I just fluffed it up, and I just power nap. So yeah, that definitely would be a good one too.
I know. Okay. We need to set up some couches here to implement that.
What
the
about
nap
you?
time. Well, this is a shout
it
out.
It would be that as well, the nap time. Like, I don't mind. Whenever I can catch some Z's, you're going to find me catching some Z's.
No, but like 20 minutes is super long. For me, if I take 20 minutes, I'm losing
the way life is set up, it could be 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. As long as I get a quick power nap, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Well, if you are not a light sleeper, Because if
That's
you
true.
are,
If you're a
I
heavy
knock out, though.
sleeper,
yeah,
I knock out.
because
So when I knock out, I knock out.
definitely knock out. But we really enjoyed the show today.
really was
Our
good.
special guest who
Again,
brought us
Dede.
so
Yes.
much
Amazing.
healthy but lovely and delicious snacks. Thank you once again. And of course, our viewers. We want to thank you, viewers, listeners, because who else is going to stick with us but you? You're always faithful, viewing the show, listening to us. So thank you so much. If you do have some suggestions, feel free to send us your DM, okay? But that's all for today, ladies. We're running out of time. We'll have to say goodbye.
All right, see ya.
Bye.